Chicama, the longest wave in the galaxy. And here are 10 things to consider before surfing Chicama. Chicama is an awesome place, but these are the top 10 things that I learned and I wish I knew from the beginning. This is a different wave, so don't just grab your board and run out there. I mean, it's the longest wave in the world. And just from the start, I mean, if you've got a sticker, bring it down. I made the mistake in not bringing it because it's really cool here that people from all over the world are representing their surf shops. So if you got a sticker, bring it down. And let's just start from the beginning. I mean, Peru was one of the pioneers in, surfing. They're one of the first people to ever surf, and they use these weird corn-like type of surfboards to kind of bring and introduce the sport. There's all these different breaks within Chicama: La Punta, El Cape, La Cruz, El Point, Las Tetas, El Hombre, and all this consists of the longest wave in the world. So if you actually connect through, it's about 3 to 4 kilometers. So it's just like a never-ending wave. Tip number 1, stay for the swell. So before even planning your trip here, you want to make sure that you're going to be in the area with a good swell. You want to make sure there's power and it's actually going to be good, because you don't want to come all the way down here and just get totally skunked. Second thing, when coming over here, you got to fly to Lima. Then the best way to do it is take a connecting flight to Trujillo, and then it'll be an hour drive from there. If not, taking an 8-hour drive from the capital. So if you're coming over, be sure to do that. On the way here, be sure to have a taxi or someone that can actually cross, because there is like a border, and if the car doesn't have like proper papers, you're gonna have to walk past that like police point, that little checkpoint, and then get back in the car and continue. And on the way there, it's just a bunch of tuk-tuks and just like not the best place that you want to be like getting off and like walking around, especially with boards and gear. So make sure that you have like good transportation to get over there from the airport. Tip number 2, bring your own gear. I mean, while you're over here, there's not really like a lot of surf shops or anything. It's pretty much just like people's houses and stuff, and they rent out, surfboards, and you kind of get what you get and you don't get upset. They'll be sure to like take care of you and get you going, especially if you're just on a Peru trip and you want to come down and surf. They got you covered. They got like pretty much like any board, but it's not going to be your Firewire, it's not going to be your Sci-Fi or any brand names. It's pretty much just any surfboard they have available, which is probably like, Aiden's old board or somebody's old that like kind of left behind. But they are good boards and you'll find something. You get what you get and you don't get upset. But there'll be something like for you. So you can definitely get by if you don't bring your stuff, but if you do, it's a lot better as far as wetsuit and booties and all your gear. Tip number 3, rent a boat. You definitely want to rent a boat while you're over here, because that's the only way to actually experience the whole wave. They drive you all the way down to the point, and that way you can catch the whole wave. If not, you're going to be doing a lot of walking and you're not going to reach the point, and by the time you even get close, you're just going to get tired. So if you want to experience the whole thing, I highly recommend renting the boat and having a group of surfers like 4 to 5, so you can split the cost. And the boat will actually even tow you in if you got like a foil or something like that. It's very convenient too, because while you fall off the wave, I mean, you're surfing the longest wave of the world, they'll come back, pick you up, and bring you back to the point, so you can just always go back and surf it. If not, you're gonna have to either walk to the beach and then walk your way over, or just call it a session, because you're just gonna be too tired to do that. So if you want to fully experience the wave, rent the boat. Tip number 4, bring a jacket. When you go to Chicama, you're thinking desert, you know, hot weather, but in reality, it's really cold at night and you get strong breezes. Sometimes the sun doesn't even go out. So you want to make sure that you really got something to kind of protect yourself from the cold, because there was days where I was just freezing. So, I mean, a little cover up is okay. And if I give you a recommendation, is to actually leave room so you can actually buy a poncho here and then have something like as a souvenir. But it's not hot. It's actually pretty cool in most of Peru, and you'll have sunny days, cloudy days, but at night and overall it's just cold, and I didn't know that. Tip number 5, bring a bigger board. You want to make sure you got a board that will cross you through the sections. I mean, and honestly, when I was down here, it was actually overrun by foilers. There was actually more foilers in the water than surfers. I felt like a minority at this point. Like literally, Chicama is just being taken over by foilers. So they're actually got priority over you, because they can catch the wave way before you. So having a step-up board is really gonna help you. So like if you ride a 5.6, I was riding a 6.0, and then sometimes you even want to have a longboard so you can just cruise, because the point here is just making that section and just catching the longest wave of your life. You're not necessarily here to like do a bunch of snaps and like get barrel and all that. You just really want to ride the wave as long as you can. Like that's the point of Chicama. And then, you know, I was riding my shortboard and it was a lot of fun and it was great, but you definitely don't want to be pumping the whole time. You're just not going to your legs are not going to do it for, you know, yards and yards of pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. So you definitely want a bigger board to just make it easier to cross that section and just cruise and have a really good time. Because if not, you're just going to be just pumping, you know, and you can't do it. You can't sustain so much of that for so long. So again, bring a board that's going to allow you to make the section. You definitely don't want to be left behind here, because it's just gonna suck. All right, tip number 6, be selective. You definitely want to wait your turn and look out. You don't want to go for the first wave, because you're not going to have another opportunity. So you really want to make sure that the wave you take is the wave you go for, because here it's not like a normal place where you just paddle, catch the wave and paddle back. You actually, once you catch your first wave, you're catching off like the shoulder and the end part of the wave after that until you get to shore or the end. So you definitely want to be very selective and make sure that the wave you choose is the best that you can ever go on, and it's going to push you as far as you can, because if you don't make it, it's just really sucks, and then you're stuck there in the penalty box waiting for the next wave and the next wave and the next wave. And sometimes if somebody's on it, it might look like they're not going to make it, but they are. It's the longest wave in the world, so they are going to make it. So be very selective and make sure that your first wave is your best wave, because after that you're going to be catching the leftovers that will try to get you closer to shore. So our recommendation, be selective. Tip number 7, stay high. So once you've selected your wave, you really want to stay on the high part of the wave and maximize that. That's going to allow you to really just stay on it for the longest time and really ride the wave and cross the sections. The second you get low or lose the pocket, you're going to lose it. And that's really what you don't want to do out there. You really just want to stay high and ride it. I mean, this guy right here, local, and like he's just pumping and staying on that high line, because if you don't, you're just going to lose the wave. Tip number 8, stay on the main strip, ocean view. So you really want to stay on the main part of Chicama there. It's like the nicest part there, and you can actually see the surf from where you're staying. It's very important because the sessions here, you're probably going to have like 1 to 2 sessions a day, morning and afternoon, or just one. So you want to make sure that when the waves are turned on and it's just working, you're within reach and you can just run out there and go. Other than that, you're gonna have to walk to the main strip, the main boulevard there, and kind of check it out yourself. And then once you see it working, you really want to run down and go. And having that access to the main waves and seeing that really helped. And I think that that's something that everyone should really consider. I stayed at the Blue Dolphin here and I had a good view of the waves. And I think it's a general good spot, especially like where it's located. So you want to make sure you're staying somewhere where you can always eye the surf. Now, my recommendation after being there, the best place to stay is actually the Chicama Boutique Hotel. It's actually perfectly placed and it's just very comfortable. You can watch the surf from the balcony, and the restaurant in there is really good, and it's just an overall good experience. But it is the most expensive. So if you want to just have it bougie and have like a good time and just be in the best place, I recommend staying there. But at the end of the day, as long as you're on that main strip, you're good. And for the most part, you're there to surf. So you just want to make sure you maximize your time surfing, and then the rest just resting. But it is very convenient to be looking at the waves. Tip number 9, walk to the point. So while you're over there and you don't have the boats, which you're not going to have every day, you want to make sure you walk all the way down to the point. You want to make sure you're at the point, which is all the way at the corner there, just all the way at the end. So you're going to walk all the way over there so you see. And it's good to go in a group so you can just have like a good conversation with your friends. And I mean, it takes a while to get out there, a lot of energy. You know, you can bring a dog if you'd like as well, you know, for company. And it's just going to be an overall better experience. But it's a long walk, but it's the best like way to do it if you don't have a boat, is really to just walk to the first point and then get in from there, paddle, and then you're going to be riding the waves all the way in. Tip number 10, plan your sessions. So this is actually one of the most important that I didn't think was going to be a big deal, but it actually was. You want to plan your day accordingly. So if you're going to surf in the afternoon, you want to make sure that you plan breakfast way in advance so that you actually can go. Or you just go in the morning and you're probably not going to get back till afternoon or maybe even night. So you got to really plan your day and rearrange your eating schedule, your surfing schedule, and everything around the waves, because this is not like your typical, I'm just going to surf for an hour and come back. The hikes are long, the boat trips are long, the wave is super long. So you really want to plan your day out in advance. Like I was planning my day the night before to more or less have a good idea of how it's going to be, as long as the surf and everything else, because it's really like a full commitment once you go out there. I mean, you're surfing the longest wave in the world and you really want to maximize that.
All right, just a few more things to consider. For the most part, you're going to be surfing alone, so it can be spooky at times, even though you're going in a group, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Once you catch a wave, you're gone, and you might not see your group again until you come out of the water. And finally, just make sure you have cash, specifically soles. But you know, some places will take your dollars and some places will take your credit cards. But it's always best to have the local currency.
Highly recommend coming here, and these were the top 10 points that I realized after surfing Chicama for my first time.